Yes, you, watching this video. Do you want to own a piece of Scribbler? Only not a lock of hair or blood or flesh or anything else that will get you in trouble with the law? Well, now you can, with t-shirts, hoodies, tote bags and mugs featuring Obab Scribbler at her Teespring store. You know you want to. I shall now stop talking in third person and send you on to the video. Be lovely to each other and enjoy the show.
Dear Rarity, I got the dress you sent me, and I love it. It's so pretty, and I'll only wear it to the most formal of occasions. I wouldn't want to get it dirty, would I? Honestly, I can't thank you for all the clothes you've been sending me, and all the gifts that you ever given me since the day we became friends. I used to think that any gifts other than books were useless, but after I met the five of you, I've learned that there's so much more to life than just books. All of my friends, you included, have taught me so many wonderful things, and I can't even find the time to write a letter to Princess Celestia anymore. Because if I tried to write a letter for everything you've all taught me, then I'd never be able to sleep or eat or rest. There's just too much that I need to say. I'm happy that you're headed in the direction of the career that you've always wanted. We all are. We haven't been able to see a lot of each other recently, but we all wish you the best. Applejack's busy on the farm. Rainbow Dash is now committed to the Wonderbolts. I really shouldn't say it like that. She's always been loyal to us, and she always will be. That's just who she is. Just like how you are one of the most generous ponies I've ever had the immense pleasure of knowing. I cannot imagine a life without the five of you, and each and every one of you is very important to me. I love all of you, and I don't want to think about not seeing you guys every single day of my life in Ponyville. You're all so busy now, and I'm the only one without anything to do. Well, not anymore. I've decided to leave Ponyville. Don't worry, I'm planning on coming back. I just don't know when. I just think that I need to see a bit more of the world. I've only ever lived in 2 cities, and I think it'd be nice to see other places like Philadelphia and maybe go to another country. I don't know yet. All I know is that I'll think of you guys every day, and I will patiently wait for the day when I can see all of you together again. Don't tell anyone else, Rarity. I want to tell them all in my own way. Don't worry, I won't keep this a secret. Good luck in Canterlot, Rarity, and I hope to see your name in the paper someday. Always grateful for your fashion advice, Twilight Sparkle. Dear Fluttershy, regarding those books you asked about, I asked Spike to deliver them to your cottage, and they should arrive by tomorrow afternoon. But if they don't, you can just pick them up at the library. I left them on my desk upstairs. You can just go up and take them. Make sure to return them. Someone else may need them. No pressure, though. Take your time with them. I'll try and send you those books you asked me to find if I find them. They'll be sent to the library, so let Spike know how to contact you. How's it going, anyhow? Is it fun in school? Have they taught you about fruit bats yet? I only asked because I saw a colony of them flying out of some trees the other day, and I thought they looked really interesting. Are they actually fruit, or are they just colored like fruit? That was a strange question. I remember how I used to hate kindergarten. They didn't sympathize with me when they knew that I couldn't use magic as well as they could. I was 3 for Celestia's sake. But I'm sure it's different for you, Fluttershy. Everyone loves you. I bet you've already made a ton of friends, haven't you? You have your exams in a month, don't you? Enjoy your half-term then, and study up with those books. Try your best and you'll do great. I'm sure that you'll be able to get a great job when you graduate, Fluttershy. A job where you get to work with animals all day. You'd love that, wouldn't you? You really do love animals, don't you? I'd wager that you love animals more than I love books. And I really love books. If it were anything else, I'd say it was unhealthy for you to devote so much time to something. But since it's animals, that means you'll be outside a lot of the time. And that's good, right? Healthy. Anyway, I was wondering if you could do me a favor. Right now, Spike has this under control, but I imagine he can't keep it up forever. If you wouldn't mind, could you look after Aloysius? I'm not going to take him with me, so I'd like it if a good friend of mine could look after him instead. He's just one more mouth, so I imagine it wouldn't be too much trouble, but don't feel obligated. You don't have to. I just think that I'd like it if I knew that Aloysius was in good hooves. I know he'll be safe with you, and I know he'll love it too. You're so good with animals. You're also so kind. You're unbelievably thoughtful, and even when you're scared, you can stand up for your friends. Are you still afraid of dragons? I hope that you'll still love Spike even after he grows up. He likes talking to you. He says you're very nice and gentle. Even after Iron Will gave you those lessons, I still think that you're pretty much the same Pegasus as the one I met the first day I came to Ponyville. You could barely say your name because you didn't know who I was, and I thought you were a bit strange. Even I was brave enough to talk to strangers back then. But when you noticed that Spike was a baby dragon, you started to assault us with questions. You really started to open up, and it was as if we'd been friends for years. I still thought it was strange, but at least you didn't seem like such a timid pony anymore. It kind of showed me your potential. It's nice, though, having a friend who doesn't really raise her voice. Even when you do shout, your voice is so soft that I don't feel threatened. I wouldn't expect a pony as considerate and benevolent as you to be able to scream anyway. You were always the one in the background, Fluttershy. We knew you were there, but a lot of the time, when we were busy plotting and talking, we left you out completely. But you pretended as if it didn't matter. I'm sorry that I didn't pay much attention to you all these years. And I'm sorry that I only talked to you when I remembered that you were there. I may not have made it obvious, but you are one of my best friends, and I will treasure the times we spent together. I will never forget them, and I will think back to them in my darkest hours. Maybe one day we'll be able to meet up again in Ponyville. And maybe this time, I'll be a better friend and remember to acknowledge you. Goodbye. I wish you all the luck in your endeavors. You're gonna be the best veterinarian the world has ever seen, and you're going to love it. Your regretful friend, Twilight Sparkle. Dear Rainbow Dash, I saw you in Canterlot last week. I went to the racetrack and I saw you there. You were really awesome, Rainbow. It was so cool when you shot into the sky and finished the rest of the race on the cumulonimbus cloud that you dragged out of the sky. And it was even more impressive when you won the race. What else did I expect from the former youngest Wonderbolt? Did you see me there? I was in seat G15. It's okay if you didn't. I didn't really expect you to. Watching you flying through the air makes me jealous of the fact that I don't have a pair of wings, and that even the ones I create with my magic can't begin to compare to yours. You are truly a legend, Rainbow, and your story isn't even over yet. You're still going strong and you're still the best, even though the newer generation is riddled with talented flyers, a number of whom are able to perform the sonic rain boom that we all loved. But you were the first to prove that the legends were true, and you were the first one to show that 3 sonic rain booms in the same stretch of flight was possible. You may have broken your wing afterwards, but you will forever be remembered in the annals of aviator history. The first pony to fly faster than machines that exceeded Mach 3. I have to admit that even I had my doubts, but you still managed to do it. It was a momentous day for all of us, but I bet you were far more ecstatic than anyone else there that day. It was a good thing that we managed to convince you to go and join the Wonderbolts. It warmed my heart when you said that you didn't want to go because you'd have to leave your friends. We knew that it had been your dream to join the Wonderbolts for a long time, Rainbow. We couldn't just let you give that up. Your loyalty to the ones that mean the most to you is an incredibly awe-inspiring feature. But please, don't let it get in the way of your aspirations. If you did, I wouldn't be able to say that my friend is one of the most talented flyers in the history of Equestria. You've done so much in your life, Rainbow Dash. I wish I could say the same for me. That's not all you are either, is it? You are the reason the 6 of us found our talents. If it weren't for that first sonic rainboom, we might still be blank flanks, wandering the land as peaceful nomads, seeking our destined skills. You brought us all together long before we'd even met. For that, I have to say thank you. Thank you so much, Rainbow Dash. If it weren't for you, I wouldn't have been able to experience the brightest and happiest years of my life. Thank you. I wish I could explain to you just how much our friendship means to me, and I wish I could show how bleak my life would be without you. But even with my years of having my nose in books, I lack the necessary vocabulary to articulate the sensations that I endure in the deepest depths of my heart. There's no way I can let you see life through my now opened eyes, but you'll have to take my word for it. Without you, I would have no meaning, no reason to live. Every day I wake up in the hopes that I'll be able to see my friends' happy faces again. That is why, Rainbow Dash, that I feel I so desperately need this. For me. The 6 of us are starting to walk different paths that go different ways, and it's getting increasingly harder for us to meet up and talk, like we used to when we were pubescent teenagers. We've been friends all this time, and I don't think that will ever change. But we'll all have to deal with the fact that some of us are tens of miles apart. Others, hundreds. I promise that I'll still remember your faces when we meet again, as long as you promise to show us all of your new tricks, okay? It'll be hard those first few days without the 5 of you there beside me, and without the option of talking to you through the letters we send. But I'll pull through. I'll pull through because I know I need this, and because I know that I'll see you all again when it's all over. I'll learn so much on my trip, and I'll see ponies from all over the world. I don't really know what I'm looking for. It could be a lot of things, but I think that by the time it's over, I'll know what it is that I was looking for. I hope the rest of your career as a Wonderbolt is as wonderful as it's been so far. You deserve it after all those years you spent practicing. I will make sure to see another one of your performances, Rainbow. I'll be hiding in the crowd, though, so you'll have to try and find me. Also, I sent you a package, Rainbow. It should arrive at your home in Ponyville sometime next week. Make sure you pick it up. I know you'll love it. It's the newest edition, after all. And it's signed. Your #1 fan, Twilight Sparkle. Dear Applejack, I hope you're well. I haven't seen you in almost 2 weeks. I know you're excited about taking over the farm, Applejack, but take it easy. You remember that time when everyone in town asked you for your help, and by the time the sun set, you were so tired that you were practically drunk? Pace yourself. You'll get all the work done eventually. And don't be afraid of hiring helpers or recruiting volunteers if you really need it. I'm sure Ponyville will gladly lend you a hoof. After all, without Sweet Apple Acres, where would they get their delicious apple cider? We've been friends for a long time, haven't we? When I first came to Ponyville, I was unwilling to talk to the other ponies, but you dragged me around your farm and you showed me your family. Every single one of you welcomed me, a stranger, into your home, and even stuffed my face with food so delicious that I regret not taking the time to savor them. You know, whenever I think about that hoof shake you gave me the first time I came to Ponyville, my hoof starts to hurt again. Everyone calls you dependable, and they all turn to you when they need help. But the truth is, you're just hiding yourself, aren't you? You are dependable, but sometimes you need to depend on someone else as well. After all, you have your own moments of weakness, don't you? But you make it through all of them. The sleepover with Rarity was one of the best nights of my life. But it didn't start out that great. The two of you were fighting most of the time, and it was hard to tell that the two of you were the best of friends. But when there was a spot of trouble, when the tree came crashing through the side of my room, the two of you wrapped it up pretty quickly, like real friends. I couldn't do anything to solve that problem, though. I'm not like you, Applejack. I'm not as dependable as you. I'm not as strong as you. And I can't handle as much stress as you can. I get worked up over little things, and I cause trouble for everyone else. But you'll hold everything on your shoulders just to save us the trouble of knowing. You're a great pony, Applejack, and I wish I could be just a bit more like you. All I have is my books and my brains, but you're a testament as to how much learning doesn't matter. Heart matters. Well, it's not as if they don't matter, it's more that they don't have to matter. You're happy, aren't you? You don't spend hours every day hitting the books and memorizing the facts, but you're still content, aren't you? I wish I could understand that, but sadly I can't. Hopefully, I'll be able to understand it after my trip, though. I'm not going to be in Ponyville much longer, Applejack, and it saddens me to know that I'm going to be leaving what remains of my friends. But I think this will be for the best. You were always there for me when I needed someone to tell me to calm down, and you were always one of the most level-headed ponies in our group. But you also had your moments of irrationality. You're hardworking, you love your family with all your heart, and you're also the paragon of athleticism. If you were a fictional character, they'd call you Mary Sue. I remember when you told me the story about your cutie mark. You were living with your aunt and uncle when you saw a rainbow stretch across the sky and finish in Ponyville. That was when you knew your future lay in Sweet Apple Acres. That was when you realized that what you wanted more than anything was to make your farm thrive and to make sure that the next generation of the Apple family would be able to see it as a spectacular achievement. I wish you luck, Applejack. I hope that one day, wherever I am, I will hear of your farm in the paper or in some other form of media, and they will be reveling in the prodigiousness of Sweet Apple Acres. Prodigious means big. Thank you for being my friend all these years, Applejack. I hope that one day we'll meet again and we'll be able to go on another adventure, just like we used to. Who knows, maybe another villain will appear and the fate of Equestria will rest upon the shoulders of the elements of harmony again. Until then, good luck, Applejack. Live the life you've always wanted. No one can stop you now. Your always cider-craving friend, Twilight Sparkle. Dear Pinkie Pie, I'm really sorry. I'm really, really sorry that I have to do this to you. Can you promise me that you'll be strong and pull through this? It won't be that bad, I promise. Pinkie Pie, you're always the one to bring a smile to someone's face, and after all these years, you still never fail to surprise me and invigorate me, even when I'm in the darkest of dumps. It's no wonder that it's your special talent. I can't help but admire you for that. I've only ever seen you sad once or twice, despite the two of us being together for something close to a decade. You never show when you're sad, and you always put on a grinning face to cheer up your friends. I can't thank you enough for that, Pinkie Pie. There was that one time when we planned to give you a surprise party, and you went a little bit crazy. I'm still really sorry about that, Pinkie. I thought it was a good idea at the time. I didn't know how much you needed us to be with you back then. How much you needed us to need you. Your friends really mean the world to you. It must have been hard for you these past few months, knowing deep down in your heart that your closest friends are starting to drift apart. And it must have hurt to know that you're gonna move away too. We'll all miss you, Pinkie. But I think I'll miss you more than anyone else. I'd like to be able to say that I'll write to you every day, but I can't do that. I need to try and get through this on my own. In my own way. I'm leaving Ponyville, Pinkie. I'm not sure when, if ever, I'll come back. I'm hoping that I'll be able to in the future once I get everything out of my system, but I'm too scared to make any promises right now. As to why I'm going, I think that I want to believe it'll be a journey of self-discovery. But between you and me, Pinky, I think it might be because I can't face the reality of my friends separating. That we're going our different paths. That we're leaving each other behind. That everyone's leaving me behind. I guess we're more similar than I thought. I've told the others that I have different reasons for leaving, but I think I just didn't want to accept the truth. I need to separate myself from the things that are dear to me. I need to know what it's like. All of you have been defining who I am for the past few years. Without you, I don't know what I'd do. I don't know who I am. I once thought that perhaps I was destined for greatness, that maybe Princess Celestia had a plan for me, especially when I started learning about Star Swirl the Bearded and all the unfinished magic that he had and he left behind. But I guess that wasn't true. I guess she just wanted me to be a librarian who made some friends. And those friends have just defined who I am. I don't know who I am anymore, Pinky. I don't want to go, but I know it's something I have to do. I don't know who I am without my friends, because who I was before I came to Ponyville isn't me anymore. Without you and everyone else by my side, I'm not sure who or what I am. I barely even know myself. I have to know myself. But I suspect that after this is over, I'll know. I'll know who I am. Don't worry, Pinky. I'll never forget who you are, and I'll think of you every day. I'll even bring you back a gift or two for my travels, I promise. Do you want a 4-layer cake, or would you prefer a sugar-coated mega muffin? Either way, I'm sure to get you something delicious. I promise. I think I'll miss the sound of your laughter the most. This isn't goodbye, not really. This is just until we meet again. Even if I never make it back to Ponyville, I'll make sure that somehow I get to see you again. Cross my heart and hope to fly, stick a cupcake in my eye. Always grateful for your exuberant presence. Twilight Sparkle. Dear Spike, don't forget, Fluttershy is waiting for you to deliver those books to her home. If you do forget, though, then make sure that you stay at the library all day on Sunday so she can come and pick them up. Also, remember to take out the trash on Tuesday night. After all these years, you've never remembered to do that once, so make sure that this time you do, even if I'm not there to remind you, okay? Before I forget, there's a parcel that Rarity will need you to deliver to her boutique as soon as she comes back from Canterlot. She should be back on Monday, and the package should arrive on Sunday. Make sure you deliver it to her, or she's gonna be really upset. You know how busy she is now. You can help her if you want, Spike. I know where your heart is in the matter. Just make sure you're back by 11. I'm sorry, Spike. I know that it's been quite a few years since I hatched your egg, and you've grown a lot since we first came to Ponyville. But I still think of you as that adorable baby dragon with magical fire breath and heavenly back scratches for claws. It's going to be strange not having you by my side anymore, Spike. I don't know how I'll survive without my #1 assistant. But I think that's one of the reasons why I so desperately need to go on this trip. I've learned a lot in Ponyville, including facts, life skills, and the beauty of friendship. But one of the things that I never learned was independence. I separate myself from other ponies, but that's not the same thing. I try to do everything I can on my own, especially if it has nothing to do with others. but I need to learn how to finish everything on my own. I know that my friends are there to lend a hoof whenever I need them, but I think it's also very important for me to know how to survive on my own. I don't want to think about a life where I have no friends, a life where I never moved to Ponyville. But I think that this is going to be a very important rite of passage for me. I'm already an adult in age, but not in mind. Hopefully, by the end of my journey, I'll be able to take care of myself, and I'll finally be able to come back to Ponyville. I'll make sure to arrange for the 7 of us to meet up again, and we'll talk until the sun rises. We can catch up and share stories of our successes. Wouldn't that be nice? This is a goodbye for now, but I swear that it won't be permanent. I'm sorry that I couldn't do this in person, Spike, but I need to be selfish. I don't want to drown in my own tears and what-ifs. Finally, I left you a present. It's in a chest that I hid under my bed. Be careful when you pull it out. It's pretty heavy and you might fall over. I know they're your favorite. Always happy to be a part of your family. Twilight Sparkle. Dear Princess Celestia, I finished learning a lesson today. I've been learning this lesson for my entire life. My brother started to teach me when I was a filly. Then you picked up where he left off, and now my friends have finished teaching me this lesson. I've learned the final lesson about friendship. Friends do a lot of things. They support you when you're trying to succeed. They're there to calm you down when things get out of hoof, and they're also there to make your life more interesting. And you do the same thing for them because you're their friend too. But these are all things that your family can do, that any community can do. What makes friends unique is also what we look for in life. They are the ones with no obligation to help you, yet they stick by you all the same. There's no bond of blood between friends, and there's no compulsory promise to show you the tricks of life. But there is an unseen attraction between friends, one that is only formed when you realize that they bring a smile to your face every time you see them, and they can brighten up your day just by being near. Friends can be inscrutable, and they can also be incompatible, but they can still come together without any conflict. Who they are as individuals doesn't matter. It is the result of their companionship that overcomes their seemingly repelling natures. Friends are the ones that help you realize this. No one other than a friend can teach this lesson, and no one other than a friend is qualified. They do not need to be aware of how important they are to you, nor do they need to be at the forefront of philosophical innovation. Instead, they just need to know that they have a friend in you, too. They force you to come out of your shell and accept you for whoever you may be, without question. They don't laugh at you, they laugh with you. And they will never abandon you for their own selfish reasons, not true friends. And you should do the same. Sadly, this is a lesson I learnt and did not implement. I wish I could say that I was able to put this lesson to use, but the way by which I learned it prevents me from doing so. It's not something I can easily talk about, so I will spare the details. But know that today I have made an incredibly important decision. I've made the decision to leave my friends. For years, I've lived in Ponyville, and there's never a dull day. There's always something going on. If it's not one of Pinkie Pie's unpredictable whims, it's one of Rainbow's pranks, or a filly or colt's attempts at earning their cutie mark. Shining Armor had to put up with that for a few years as well. He tells me I was unbearable during my blank flank phase. Ponyville is a quaint town, and it is much simpler than my home in Canterlot. I do miss my spire where I would practice my magic just as you'd instructed, and I do miss my family. But over the years, I've realized that my friends are worth so much more to me. Without them, Ponyville would have been no different from my old life, and I would never have left Golden Oak's library. Even now, after all these years, they are still the reason why I love Ponyville. But they can't be for much longer. Like I said, friends will support you no matter what you do. I have to encourage them. They'd do the same for me. I can't ask them to abandon their dreams and tend to my needs. They're ponies of their own right, and as such, they have their own dreams, their own aspirations. They're growing up, and we're growing apart. It's become a lot harder for us to stay friends, and it takes more sacrifice than it should for us to just organize a day out together. Rainbow has left Ponyville altogether, and she's traveling with the Wonderbolts. Applejack's taken over the farm and all that responsibility. Rarity is sending 100 unique dresses to Canterlot a fortnight. Fluttershy is attending veterinary school, and Pinky is starting to go a bit crazy. She thinks that we're not friends anymore. I can't say I disagree. It doesn't feel like we are anymore. They're all busy, and this is what they've been waiting for all their lives, isn't it? Rainbow's always wanted to be a Wonderbolt. There are countless posters in her room, and the memorabilia outnumbers the ponies of Ponyville. Applejack has worked on the farm her whole life, and the farm was the reason she got her cutie mark. She was born to work there, and I've never seen her frown since the day she took over. Rarity has been hoping for a chance to be a world-renowned designer, and this may well be it. Even Sweetie Belle's leaving her alone. And Fluttershy just loves her animals. I'm surprised she didn't do this sooner. I can't say anything about Pinky. But I know she'll be fine. She'll make new friends and she'll live a happy life with them after the 6 of us have gone our separate ways. Rarity will definitely move to Canterlot as soon as she has a chance. Mr. and Mrs. Cake are moving to Philadelphia, which means that Pinky needs to go with them since she can't afford to buy a house, nor can she afford to rent a home in Ponyville without some serious reduction. Fluttershy will get a job somewhere that has a higher percentage of pet owners. I'm sure she won't stay in Ponyville after she graduates. Applejack would be the only one of us left in the town. She's a strong pony, dependable and truthful as you would expect from the element of honesty. I'm sure she'll be fine. We've been through a lot together as the elements of harmony, and even more as friends. Parties, adventures, the good and the bad. We've seen so much and we've learned so much that we'll spend years just retelling the tales of our friendship to our kids someday. It was a hard decision to make, but it'll be even harder to spend my first night away from my friends and away from the place I've come to call home. I hope they'll miss me, because that would mean I had a place in their lives. I know that I'll miss them. I may be able to make new friends as my life goes on, Princess, but I know that I'll never be able to replace them. I don't think I want to, either. This hasn't ended the way I would have wanted, but I still don't want to replace them. Maybe someday we'll meet again, and maybe I'll learn another lesson about friendship, one that I missed because I was too busy living it. For now, they need me to go. They need to live their dreams. When all of us are the ponies that we've always wanted to be, then we can meet again and reminisce about the years we spent together and the years that we didn't. We can tell stories of the trials that we faced alone, and we can share the aspirations we still have. Until then, I'll try my best to meet new ponies. It'll be hard, but maybe I'll meet someone as delightful as Pinkie Pie, or nearly as cool as Rainbow Dash. Who knows? Those 5 are my best friends, and they've been there for me ever since you sent me to Ponyville. But there's nothing that says friends will always be there, that you'll always have them. This doesn't have to be a bad thing, though. I can be myself now. I can start over. A chance to follow in the hoofsteps of my friends and achieve my dream. whatever it is under the layer of who they think I am. Thank you, Princess, for sending me to Ponyville all those years ago. If it weren't for you, my life would not have a fraction of the meaning it does right now. Things didn't turn out how I thought they were going to, but they turned out okay. Thank you, Princess. Maybe I'll send you another letter at some point. But for now, this is goodbye. Thank you for all the lessons you've taught me, Princess Celestia. Thank you for guiding me to the path that I've always been looking for, but failed to find. And thank you for being such a good friend to me all these years. Perpetually your faithful student, Twilight Sparkle.